Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is DeaNita Meivis Aulia. S.P.M. 25. 41. 2029 class. Accounting to 5A. Course. Business Communication, Lecturer. Miss Berlintina Permatasari S.P.M.M. In this video, I will explain about speech material. Learning materials. The first one. Speech preparation, getting started materials. The second. For basic methods of delivery. Third. Presenting the speech. 4. Varieties of public speaking. The first one. Speech preparation, getting started. 1. Speeches that inform, explain, report, describe, clarify, define, and demonstrate. Such speeches can move an audience to action or belief. Their primary purpose is to present facts, details, and examples. The second one. Speeches that persuade are designed to convince, and the goal is to influence the audience's beliefs or attitudes. This can be accomplished by using your own credibility to strengthen your argument, or you can appeal to your audience's emotions, reason, or sense of right and wrong. Yang Ketiga. Speeches that entertain use humor to influence an audience, as in an after-dinner speech. Once the audience is warmed up, one main idea is presented, still on a light note. Note, this is the most difficult of all presentations, because it requires great ease and elegance and depends to a large degree on the charisma of the speaker. Speaking styles. The first one. The cool presenter. The cool presenter captures the audience's attention with clear-headed persuasiveness. During her presentation, things will be orderly and stay under control. These presenters are usually on a mission and deliver their message with dramatic intensity. They draw on facts and figures to substantiate what is being presented. Adjectives describing this presenter are analytical, logical, deliberate, rational, intellectual, and insightful. The second one. The hot presenter. The hot presenter can blow the roof off a building. You will probably either like or dislike this presenter, but no one ignores this kind. Her presentations are fast and furious, and often delivered with rapid speech. She runs on adrenaline and pushes passions to the limit. The pause, the raising and lowering of her voice, her body movements are all dramatic and enhance the points made. Hot presenters are emotional, driven, charismatic, impulsive, and daring. The third. The dull presenter. Dull presenters are afraid to take risks, so they remain bland and boring. You've likely endured a boring speech at some time. Dull presenters are safe, but they don't change much. Because they are so dull, there is minimal risk, and it is easily forgotten. Dull seems to be the norm because so many people operate within those boundaries, and few within an audience will tell a dull presenter that she is dull. Dull presenters are cautious, predictable, ambivalent, and boring. For basic methods of delivery. The first one. Reading a manuscript verbatim. A manuscript that is read has several disadvantages. Unless the person who delivers the speech is extremely skilled, the recitation will sound just as if it were read, and it will likely have a sing-song tone to it. Reading a manuscript also fails to give the audience the eye contact necessary in order to keep attention. If you want to lose your audience entirely, pursue this mode. The second one. Reciting from memory. Daniel Webster, the famous author of Webster's Dictionary, could thrill audiences for 3, 4, or even 5 hours at a time. Even more incredible, he often spoke without using any notes, which he attributed to his memory. Few people have Webster's remarkable powers of memory. If you do have the ability to commit your entire speech to memory, you may do so. But one of the main disadvantages to memorizing an entire speech is that it creates too much pressure to get the speech absolutely perfect. The main disadvantage to memorization is what might happen if your attention was diverted and you could not recall what you were to say next. The third one. Speaking impromptu. The impromptu speech is speaking at a gathering with little or no preparation and without the use of notes. For many it might be likened to trial by fire, but it need not be that bad. Impromptu speaking follows 3 basic rules. I have something important to say. B. Make your audience understand or believe it. C. Speak simply, directly, and meaningfully. One advantage of speaking impromptu is that it automatically sounds natural and spontaneous. Impromptu speaking is easy as long as you follow one rule. Know what you're talking about. The fourth. Speaking extemporaneously. Most of you will speak extemporaneously. The extemporaneous talk is not totally off the cuff as in the impromptu speech. The extemporaneous presentation includes brief notes and is carefully prepared and practiced in advance. However, the exact wording is chosen at the time of delivery. The extemporaneous method has several advantages. It gives the speaker more control over thought and language and offers greater spontaneity and directness than do the other methods. It also contains a conversational quality audiences look for in a speaker. The conversational quality means that no matter how many times you have given the talk, it will sound spontaneous to a new audience. You can establish strong eye contact gesture naturally and concentrate on talking with your audience rather than speaking at them. Makeup of an audience. How you address your audience will depend greatly on whom you are addressing. 1. Superiors. When addressing superiors, suggest rather than lecture or dictate, back everything said with facts. 2. Peers. When talking with peers, share information. Draw them into the presentation and ask them to share their expertise and experiences. You will be more successful if you admit to your own human foibles and show that you are slightly vulnerable. 3. Team members. To team members, relate facts through examples. Make sure you use we language. Share success with team members and accept blame when necessary. 4. Special interest groups. Focus your presentation around the concerns of this particular group. Relate to them by persuading. 5. Mixed groups. If the group is a mixture of team members and peers, you will need to use a combination of presentation techniques in order to reach everyone. Capture attention in the first few minutes by using examples each group can relate to. Preparation outline. The first one. The introduction. Just as a movie or video needs an appropriate beginning and ending, so do public speeches. The beginning prepares listeners for what is to come. First impressions are important. A poor beginning may so distract listeners that the speaker may never be able to recover their interest. The hardest part of any presentation is the beginning. If you get through the opening stages of your talk without blundering, the rest will go more smoothly. The second one. Main points. 1. Each main point should be independent of the other main points. 2. Use the same pattern of wording for each main point. 3. Balance the amount of time spent on each main point. The third one. The conclusion. The conclusion ties up the speech and alerts listeners that the speech is going to end. Great is the art of beginning, said Longfellow, but greater the art is of ending. Many a public speaker has marred an otherwise good talk through a long-winded, silly, or poorly designed conclusion. Your closing remarks are your last chance to drive home your ideas, and your final impression will probably linger longest in your listeners' minds. The conclusion has 2 major functions. 1. To let the audience know you are ending your talk. 2. To reinforce the audience understanding of the central idea. Elements of good speaking. Vocal expression. You must speak loudly enough to be heard, clearly enough to be understood, and slowly enough for your audience to keep up. Nonverbal expression. Body language matters because it influences your credibility and helps the audience focus on your speech. Nonverbal frames the verbal. Vocal expression. There are 5 dimensions of voice that can be manipulated for greater effect. Volume. Speak louder or softer for emphasis. Pitch. Stay at an appropriate mid-range level. Rate. Accelerate for a few sentences to excite. Slow down and pause to emphasize some words. Articulation. Speak clearly with full voice. Quality. The personality of your voice, resonant, throaty, nasal, and so on. Nonverbal expression. Gesture naturally, as you would when you talk with friends. Free your hands as much as possible to allow that to occur. 1. Make the manuscript your friend with large font, double spacing, and only complete sentences on one page. No orphans to break the pace. To use the lector for your notes. 3. Keep your hands out of your pockets. Stand still for a moment and make eye contact with your audience. Then start. Speak only once you've made contact. Stay in one place for a while. Don't pace around through the speech. Choose 2 or 3 places where you'll take a step or 2. Literally, move into your next argument. Gesture naturally, as you would when you talk with friends. Free your hands as much as possible to allow that to occur. 1. Make the manuscript your friend with large font, double spacing, and only complete sentences on one page. No orphans to break the pace. 2. Use the lector for your notes. 3. Keep your hands out of your pockets. That's all the explanatory video from me. I hope it's useful and see you in the next video.